The cabinets are in their final positions. The foam is glued on around the L up until this point. I have not glued the foam on here for two reasons. The main reason is that I need to cut an access hole in the top of this panel, because if I'm going to do any wiring in this area, I need to be able to reach it, and I can't do that unless there's a hole here. After I cut the hole and before I glue down that last piece of foam, I'm actually going to add a support here, because the final position of the cabinet leaves me a gap here that's not supported. So I'm going to put a piece right there, and I'm going to put a piece over here, probably two small pieces over here, to just support that edge of the foam just in case. I probably shouldn't have worn a black shirt for this. Alright, I'm going to finish up the hole with a handsaw. Alright, I'm going to finish off the edge with a rasp. The 2 screws in each of these is probably overkill, but better to have too many than too few. The unkempt mane. I'm going to blame the humidity for that, but mostly it's just I don't care. So with that, you can see I am now supported on this front edge. I have a couple of supports here for my foam there. So I mean, there's a ledge here, but it's not very thick, not very wide. So there's a possibility that if I'm pushing stuff down, I can change that level, but I have these here now, so that won't happen. 2 screws may be a little bit of overkill, but hey, what the heck. We're attached firmly to the wall. We're supported all the way around. This is gonna support all my weight. Next step, glue down that last piece of foam. Alright, this has had time to settle down and dry overnight. And now what I need to do is I need to just smooth out all of the transitions in here. Since I've used several pieces, pieced it together, because the way that I did the bench work, I ended up being about 26 inches wide, 25 3/4 inches wide. So a 4x8 sheet of foam had to be cut into a bunch of different shapes in order to fill everything in properly. And of course, once you start cutting things and bending things, you get raw edges here and there. I'm going to go over all the seams so they're all basically even. I'm not going to worry about too much everything being perfectly flat, perfectly level. When I come down to laying track, I'll make sure that the road bed, where I put the road bed, the elevations will be very gradual, the transitions will be very smooth. I'll probably use a filler compound to kind of build that up to make sure that I have a 100% smooth place for the track to be. But this right now is just kind of, let's just make it all feel pretty good. I have a coarse drywall sanding pad here. I have one of these that's got a handle on it, but I can't find it. So I'm going to use this one. It's about 8 inches by 2.5 or 3 inches, and it will sand a large area very quickly. And this shouldn't take more than a couple minutes. Alright, so everything's not perfectly level, but now there's no real big gaps in between the two pieces of styrofoam. And at this point, I can start really looking at what my track layout is going to be, what kinds of things I'm going to do. I'm really leaning toward a folded dog bone at this point, with a large loop here in the middle that comes back this way, comes back around here to another loop over here. Industries here, industries here, industries here, with a dedicated passenger rail with at least 3 stations. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to draw some stuff out on paper, and we'll take a look at that next time.